Good morning, Nelson Countyans, and welcome to Thursday. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Community Brew Live. We are closing out our student gift showcase here this morning with Bloomfield Middle School, which I have to give a special shout out. I wore my special blazer shirt today, and I have to tell the world that's watching right now, Bloomfield Middle is especially special to me because I started my teaching career at Bloomfield Middle School 1,000,000 years ago. So I love me some Bloomfield Middle, and I'm excited to see what they have today. So without further ado, Chase.
Awesome. Well, Bloomfield Middle School is a special place. It's where I get to be the caretaker this year. It's been a an interesting year to be a caretaker for our schools, considering we've not been there for a while. But I'm excited for Mr. Patterson and his team to be able to share some of the work that's gone on this year at Bloomfield Middle School. So just as a reminder, guys, we love the chat. We love when you guys talk in the chat, both on YouTube and Facebook. And we'll pop in and have some conversations every so often. So please make sure you're giving feedback, asking questions, telling them how great of a job they're doing. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Nick Patterson, who is the backpack leader at Bloomfield Middle School.
All right. Thank you, Chase, and thank you, Brooke. And good morning, Nelson County, and good morning, the rest of the world. We're really excited this morning. We've got a great group of students here who are ready to tell you how they've been blazing a trail through Bloomfield and Nelson County and telling their story and their future story through the world. We're going to start out with the backpack class, and they are going to, let me present my screen real quickly here. They're going to share with you about the externship process and then also our community partner that we have. So with that, I send it over to the WDBR studios and Mr. Will DeWitt.
You want me to do the Froggies thing? Background, right?
You good. Just let us out some background and then we'll head on over to Katie.
All right. Hi, my name is Will DeWitt, and thank you for your time, and I appreciate you all being here. I'm going to be giving a little background story on how we got to where we are with Froggies and the obstacles we've had to persevere through to get there. And so it mostly all started with a lot of externships. And the first externship we went on was with RAM. We went to see RAM. And they talked about having a partnership and having an apprenticeship. And at the time, they seemed like a pretty good option to choose from. We eventually went on the rest of the externships, and we ended up selecting RAM as our partner for the partnership. But due to they had a lot of contracts that just had come in. They had a lot of work on their hands. I don't think they had the time to really help us when they had a bunch of work on their hands. So that's when we found Froggies in Bloomfield. It was really convenient. It was right there. And our main goal for them was to try to just help them to thrive in Bloomfield, because 40 other restaurants have been in that spot and a lot of them have not succeeded. And so we were trying to get this one to really thrive and have good customer service and make someone say, hey, I want to go back there. And that was really our main goal, was to help Froggies promote service, promote business, and improve their customer service.
Hi, my name is Katie Yates, and today I'll be talking about how we presented Froggies as a partner. Our class presented them as our partner by going live with the whole entire school in the background, just asking a few questions to them, and also trying some of their breakfast food, and also letting the crowd as well try the food, and just making them feel welcome to the community and the school. Good morning, everyone. I'm Cameron, and I want to talk to you guys about the main idea of our partnership. So in this partnership, we wanted to really help Froggies thrive because we knew that other people in that spot, they didn't really work out because they didn't get enough business. But as you can see in these pictures, the Froggies employees have been working very hard to make the restaurant perfect for all the customers. And we just thought that we could help them by, advertising them on social media, um, with the school, and we believe with the help of Bloomfield Middle School and the community, we believe we can help Froggies thrive. And as you can see in that picture, all the hard work really paid off because the main dining room looks amazing.
All right. So what I was working on was the menu for Froggies. So I was analyzing. I was looking at high-rated restaurants, restaurants that have a lot of service to see what their menus look like. Then looking at lower restaurants to see what theirs look like. I kind of compared them to get ideas for Froggy's menu. You don't want to have too long of a menu so that people are overwhelmed and don't know what to choose, but you don't want to have too short of a menu. You want to have it just right where there's just enough variety where people always have something new to choose from, but not too much. So I went through a lot of menus and I think I got some cool ideas, but what we were working on was we wanted to do a BMS special for Bloomfield Middle School. We were maybe like each month they could come in and do lunch for us, or it could be something special about the meal that could connect it to BMS. And so that was a cool thing we were working on with the menu. We were also looking. I was looking at prices, comparing prices to see what kind of prices you want to have. You want to have really appealing pictures. I think you should have appealing pictures because it really stands out and shows the person what it looks like. You don't want to make it enlarged to show detail, though. I think I would disagree with that, but I was working on the menu.
Next thing I'll be talking about is how we establish Froggy's social media. Helping Froggies establish their social media we help them by creating to give them accounts. Like we curated their Instagram and their Twitter, and also setting standards to how much or how often they should post and what they should be posting about. Like, say you don't want to post 3 times a day because that's just overwhelming and stuff. You would want to post maybe 3 times a week, probably, just to not overwhelm the customers and the community. So in the beginning of the year, when we were first introduced to the owner, Mr. Medley, and the manager, Ms. Loxton of Froggies, they mentioned that they want their customer service to be very satisfying. So in the coming years of this class, we will really dive deeper than we did this year on customer service, because this year we really focused on the menu and social media. But we do know that we want to help their social media be very satisfying like they want. Like, we don't want it to get up to the satisfying level and then drop back down. So we want to get it up to that satisfying level and keep it there.
All right. So as you can see, we've done a lot of work with Froggies. They have had a lot of obstacles, not just our community class, but also Froggies themselves that they've had to overcome. And I think that has really been a great experience for our students. And again, just with our main goal being that we talk about just being stronger. We want to make them a strong business within the community, and at the same time allow our students opportunities for them to get stronger in those real life experiences. So thank you, guys.
Yeah, I think you guys have done a great job at Froggies. I think it's a good example of sometimes in life when things don't go the way we expect them to go, there's a different opportunity. And I think it's what happened with Froggies. I remember when we kind of had the disconnect there, and we were searching for the partner, and I'm not sure who brought up the idea, but it's like, what about if we did this? And I think the things you guys have gotten to do with marketing and branding and setting those things up, like that would have never been done had we gone maybe a different route with the community partners. So that's really cool stuff that you all are engaged in and doing. I think it's going to be powerful, not only the work you're doing now, but to see that come to life as the school year opens back up and restaurants open back up, and you're going to make an impact in the Bloomfield community long after your time at Bloomfield Middle School. And I think that that's really the goal of a lot of these things. So that's really awesome. Brooke, you want to jump in with anything from the chat?
Yeah, there's we got lots of good stuff going on over here. There is a lot of comments really just about you guys investing in your community through this project. We've got, let's see, Haley Victory out at Cox's Creek Elementary. She said that she loves all the research and comparison that went into making magic with the menu. Jesse Morgan says he can't wait to have lunch at Froggy's. I would definitely have to echo that for sure. Let's see. Mickey Rogers, she says, can't wait for Froggy's to open and love the collaboration from BMS to make it a success. Renee Hedges, love me some Renee. She says, I love all the thought and research that has gone into this project. Great job. Just from my own personal, shout out. I couldn't agree more with Chase, but I think you guys being invested in this project from the ground up is really cool, and it's going to be really cool to see this project develop and evolve, and the impact that you're making directly on your community is just so stinking cool. Kelsey Berryman, she said she loves the digital citizenship and online presence is embedded into the project. Jessica Sparrow, way to persevere, Blazers. Miss Tucker, looking forward to supporting our community at Froggy's. Nice job. Nick, Steve Mahoney gave you a shout out. He said, Nick Patterson is like my third favorite boss. Nice job, P-Dog. So, I'm not sure. I feel like that's probably a joke, another Steve Mahoney joke. Love Steve Mahoney.
Love some Steve Mahoney. Yes, very nice. Thank you, Steve. All right, well, jump into our second one. We also this year established a house system within Bloomfield Middle School, and part of that process, we really wanted to have some students who could lead that and be leading that process. And today we have with us Mr. Joey Goff. He is one of our house governors, and he's going to talk to you about that process of becoming a house governor, and then also what he's been able to do for Bloomfield as a house governor. Joey.
Thank you, Mr. Patterson. As he said, my name is Joe Goff, and I'm one of the 3 House governors. And becoming a House governor, first, you got to get elected. We had speeches at the beginning where we talked to the House that people were divided up into, and we talked to them, and they voted based on who they thought would be a good leader. So after we got voted into the House as House leader, we had community meetings where we announced sports, upcoming sports games, and upcoming events, and we would have speeches and things like that. That we had. Us as the House leaders, as we would plan them, and we would announce all those things, and we would lead the community meeting. Other things that we do is we plan events like fun games at the end. We were supposed to do a fun game before spring, like a big bunch of games for the houses. And also, the way that we set up our houses is by 3 names, 3 historical names in Bloomfield: Merrifield, Muir, and Davis House. I led the Davis House. In my opinion, that is the best, but others will say different. We also helped have a a topic for the house, like the groups, the individual groups in each house, and that basically gives the teachers a topic to talk about. So one week it'll be family, the other it'll be friendships. It's just something different to talk about each week, pretty much.
All right, thank you, Joey. Appreciate that. And they've done a lot of hard work, taking on a lot of things representing each of those houses. Like you said, I would say Merrifield. I would say for Merrifield being that house, but again, like you said, everybody has that own opinion. Just some good, fun competition, and they've really brought some good change and really represented our students and given our students a really big voice among the school and a lot of things that are going on. So really proud of the work that they're doing.
Joey, I want to hop in for a second. First off, I know that you're probably a great leader. I mean, with the last name like that, like you got to, you got to be a great leader, and I know you are. But what made you want to be a governor? What was kind of the reason that you wanted to go through that process and do that?
I mean, really, a lot of people were complaining about a lot of things, and I kind of just wanted to be there to see both sides of the story, like why we couldn't or could have those things, and just tell people what's the deal, you know?
Yeah. What's been the most important thing you think you've learned through that process? This process.
Hmm. That's hard. I don't know. That's a hard one. Um, there has to be there's like reasons why we don't do certain things. There's reasons why we don't have phones because they distract people from doing their classwork. We don't, we don't do these like certain things because it distracts us from the main goal of why we're at school is to learn.
It's kind of developing a bigger understanding, maybe of.
Yes.
Gotcha. So, you're in eighth grade? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Well, we're excited to see your leadership continue. I know that there's a lot of ways in our high schools for you to contribute, and I think the start of what you guys did at the house system at Bloomfield Middle School is very similar to the Froggy project. And long after you're gone, there'll still be people that are fighting over the Merrifield house versus the Davis house versus what was the other one? It's Merrifield, Davis, and Muir. That's right. So I think that's the legacy, right? Like that's a legacy you guys get to leave, and I think it's really cool that you were not just leaving a legacy with the houses, but you're really a pioneer in leading that work. You were some of the first ones elected. I remember too. This is a funny story. I remember when they were elected and it was announced, and Mr. Adams had the announcement, and they announced him as a leader, and the place went crazy. It went wild. So obviously, Joey's a football player. He's a leader at the school. He's, I'm sure, a great kid. So we're glad you came on and helped share about the house story at Bloomfield Middle School. Brooke, anything on the chat before we move on to our?
You betcha. I will say, this is very reminds me a lot of OKH in this house conversation, because we got a lot of like people in the chat like disagreeing and agreeing, and there's houses and Muir house rules, and Madeline Tucker says Davis house #1 team. Let's see, where was that comment? Somebody said they love you, Joey, but their house was their favorite. I can't find that comment though. Okay. So, Chris and Morgan, you guys have done such a great job. I'm so proud of you, and I miss you all. Karen Geese, she says, impressive. Great job, guys. Let's see. Natalie Hurst, you are a fantastic Davis house leader, Joey. Let's see. Miss Wilkinson, Joey, and our other house governors are rock stars. They have done amazing work this year, and it has been so cool to see their leadership skills grow. It was Kristen Morgan. She said, yes, go Joey, but Muir house rules though. That was what she said. Yeah. Mr. Monette, he says, when Mr. Goff asked you a question, Joey, there was a time where you paused and you listened, and he caught that, and he said, pause, reflect, and give a great answer. Future leader right there. So way to go. Everybody is just so proud of the work that you guys are doing.
All right, thank you guys. And lastly, we have Miss Logston, and she's got a crew of 7th graders that are going to walk you through a nice, exciting project that they've been working on prior to these NTI days. So take it away, Miss Logston. And this is how it always works. When is you send it over to somebody that locks up on them? Are you there?
Oh, we actually worked on it over a time period, and this was part of our Forces in Motion unit. And so I'm not going to give up a lot because I know the kids are excited and ready to kind of talk to you about some of those things that we actually investigated, whether it be the engineering skills, whether it be vocabulary, whether it be looking into coaster design and how that is affected by our physics around that. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you guys. And
I'm Alex, and this is a roller coaster that me and my group made. For me, my favorite part of building these roller coasters was actually building them and like designing them, because you could make it anything you wanted to, and that's what Miss Thompson just let us do whatever we wanted to with it. But I feel like one of the main things we learned from it, or like taken away, was potential and kinetic energy. It really demonstrates it on a physical, like a scale, and that really helps for me because I'm hands-on really. So, but basically, like if there's like here I'll put it like I'm just gonna simply, so like if there's like a hill or whatever, on top the marble has maximum potential energy because it's built up, and if it's higher it has more, if it's lower it has less. When it's going down the hill around like the middle and near the end, it has maximum kinetic energy, and then it just keeps going, and they balance each other out. So if there's like minimum potential energy, there's close to maximum kinetic energy. So yeah, that's one of the main things that I take away from roller coaster activity. And I'm going to pass it on to Landon if you don't have any questions.
Okay, Landon, you're up.
Good morning. We named ours the Flying Frogs. I don't know why. I mean, I guess we had a lot of frogs around the room. So we made the base, or the main color of the roller coaster green, and then the pillars and stuff, they were white. So one problem we had was up here, there's a funnel, and then there's like this twisting part of the roller coaster, and like on the first twist it would accelerate too fast, and so it would fly off the coaster, and so we had to fix that really. Otherwise, like our roller coaster is only 2 pillars tall, so if we didn't fix that, we'd probably have a real big problem.
Thank you, Landon. Okay, we're going to turn it over to Tommy.
So me and my group built this roller coaster, and a lot of the problems we came with that we overcame was the mainframe, because we did not build the structure inside, only on the outside. So when we came to doing long stretches through the inside of the roller coaster, it would either dip down or it would just fall apart. So we would have to improvise and make beams that didn't have a support from the bottom. One of the things I learned was that speed and potential energy greatly affect how your roller coaster performs.
Okay, great job, Tommy. We'll turn it over to Rylan.
What me and my group challenges we overcame was right here. it was getting stuck. So we had to raise this up a little bit to get the ball to turn around the curve right here. And what I learned from this is that when the marble rolls down, it's getting all the potential energy that was stored is transferring into kinetic energy, which is making the marble roll faster down the hill.
Great job, Rylan. Okay, we'll turn it over to Angelina.
So what my roller coaster was having trouble with when it was coming off that thing, and then it was going to the funnel. When it was getting to the swirl, it kept bouncing out. And then when it goes all the way down, it was going too fast, and then it was bouncing out down here.
Great job, Angelina. Okay, we'll turn it over to Andrew.
I actually learned a lot from this project, mostly how I learned how acceleration and potential energy and kinetic energy works. This is GPE greatest potential energy because it is at the highest point. The highest point always has the most potential energy. At the bottom of the hill, it has most kinetic energy. And it's going to swirl around and have some potential energy when it falls to the funnel. Our most acceleration is right through this part right here, as it has more of a slope. And we had to tilt this a little bit up so it wouldn't fall out more. And so it rolled down in one turn.
Great job, Andrew. And you all noticed that each of the numbers that were placed along the way. So one of the things that we went into, and that I think that's why the kids kind of mentioned so much about the kinetic and potential energy. One of the things that we went into was the kids actually had to calculate kinetic and potential energy. They had to calculate their speed throughout each one of these, and so they had certain focal points that they wanted to concentrate on. And so those are what those numbers represent, are each of the transitions along the way for their coaster. So I'll turn it over to you guys.
That's great. That's a great project. I know you guys, you can tell by the things that you guys said that this wasn't just building things, but you guys learned a whole lot through this process. I know that Ms. Whitlow probably wants to jump in because STEM and design and building is it gets her jazzed up. So I'll let her kind of jump in and talk about some comments and go from there.
Yeah, you're totally right. I absolutely stinking love everything that you guys are doing. It is, it's just it's so real world. Like I think about too, the roller coaster thing, like even in like Minecraft and the things that you can learn like through that. You guys are just amazing. Okay, so I'm just gonna go over here to the comments real quick. So let's see here. I love the pride from, this is from Cheryl Figg. She says, I love how the pride from Miss Logston is just beaming through the screen. These blazers are amazing. Could not agree more. Could not love me some Miss Logston. Let's see. I love working with my BMS family. That's from Matthew Pletz. Madeline Tucker, she says, the positivity that Miss Logston radiates is absolutely contagious. I'm better because of leaders like Jennifer Rock on Logston. Miss Walker said, Landon, that is impressive. Jessica Sparrow, design thinking at its best. Angie Chandler, so impressed with all of our blazers this morning. Fantastic presentations. Fabulous job from Miss Tucker. Miss Berryman out at Cox's Creek, she says, these designs are so cool. I agree, Jess. Love the design thinking at work. BMS Strong from Mr. Adams. I'm very proud of all of you all. I love this roller coaster project. I had fun working with them on these coasters from Matthew Pletz. Yeah, you guys are just killing it out there. I couldn't agree with more with everything everyone's saying. So fun. You all are awesome.
Well, thank you guys so much for being with us this morning. It's really exciting to see the work that's going on at Bloomfield Middle School, and just I think the diversity of different things that are happening, and really thinking about how we can reimagine the school experience for students, whether it's building roller coasters or thinking about houses or designing projects with a community partner. That's the type of powerful work that it transforms the school experience. So thank you guys for leading, and I thank you guys for being a part of that. Just as a reminder, when we change the school schedule, tomorrow is a school day, and we will have the community brew tomorrow. I don't know if that's on the calendar for you or not, but we will have the community brew live. And we will tomorrow, it'll be another gift showcase. And we'll be looking at a lot of our students have been doing some work-based learning experiences. So make sure you tune into that. I know Miss Arnold and her team will have some really cool stories to tell and some students to showcase with that, and excited about that work and the work ahead. So Brooke, you want to wrap us up? We'll take it away.
All right. Well, you guys, we have a special treat for you this afternoon. We have our blazer for story time at 2. So tune in at 2 o'clock today on YouTube and Facebook. And we will see you guys tomorrow morning at 8:30. Make it an impossible day. See you guys later.